Hey there and welcome to the Tamaracade, and this week we're going to be having a look at this. It's Black Belt for the Sega Master System, released by Sega in 1986 and has one of the most infamous pieces of cover art in the entire history of video games. Just look at this. So, should we judge a game by its cover? Of course not. Let's have a look and see what it's like. This game was originally released in Japan as a game based on the popular anime and manga Fist of the North Star, although all connections to this franchise were removed when the game was being brought to the West, and the game Black Belt was born. The cover art is one of the most infamous in all of gaming history. Just look at it! How's this supposed to get people excited to play the game? It's just a foot and a small explosion. The leg isn't even attached to anything. There's a really clear gap there, so it's just a severed leg, and this is all inexplicably happening in front of some graph paper. And that serif font really screams action, doesn't it? Anyway, that's enough of that, let's get to the game. This game was released for the Sega Master System in 1986. In this game you play as Ricky, a generic karate man, as he walks right and punches people on a quest to save his girlfriend, while sushi occasionally flies overhead. As you stroll through each level, you meet hordes of single-hit enemies who must be destroyed. When you hit them, they fly back a bit and then shatter into a bunch of pieces in a very satisfying manner. There are a number of mini-bosses who take a whopping 4 hits to defeat. These are usually not too tough, apart from this guy. He is a complete and utter plamp. Once he hits you, he just keeps whipping you until you die and you can't escape, the cause of many a game over. Once you get to the end of a level, you have to face the boss. The first two aren't too much trouble. To beat Ryu, no, not that Ryu, you just wait until he's finished his little combo and then run in and punch him in the face. Once his health is depleted, you punch the crap out of him and he falls to the floor. Mate? You okay? The second boss, Hawk, is even easier than the first one. Just fly kick him in the face. If he comes towards you, fly kick him in the face. If he moves away, fly kick him in the face. If he throws a ninja star, fly kick him in the face. And if he tries to write his memoirs on an antique typewriter, you better fly kick him in the face. The third one, according to the manual, is Gonta, the Jiu-Jitsu man in black. Yeah, sure. This is where the difficulty starts to increase, but just wait till he's finished attacking and fly kick him in the face. Done. The fourth one gets a bit tough, but he's got nothing on the fifth one, who, according to the manual, is Rita the Flamethrower, despite not having a flamethrower. This fight is one of the most ridiculous I've seen in a beat 'em up. Only certain attacks in a certain order will work. If you start by doing anything other than a fly kick, then she doesn't take damage. If you try that for a second time, it does nothing. You have to do a punch. There is nothing to indicate what moves you should do or in what order to do them. For the final hit, you have to hit her out of the air. It's really hard to do that. The final boss isn't as bad. Once you beat Wang, you save your girlfriend and that's it. There's a secret 7th chapter, but it just consists of all the boss rounds back to back. This game has a fair few problems. Firstly, it seems like the developers got bored after the first level, as all the levels get shorter from there. The first level is quite long and has 4 mini-bosses. The second stage is only about half as long, and the third stage is comically short. The levels are all flat, just walk, beat people up, and occasionally jump for a power-up. In this game's Japanese counterpart, there is a bit more variety, as there are higher platforms and objects you can jump onto to break up the monotony. For some reason, they decided to remove this when localising for the West. Another thing they changed was the third boss. Instead of Gonta, you face this giant ogre thing. This is noteworthy as it's the only boss that doesn't take place in the normal zoomed in boss style. Also, when playing the Japanese version, this happened. Okay. The difficulty spike at the 4th stage is way too steep. In addition to the regular enemies, you also have to deal with these eagles. They can get very frustrating. And then there's Captain Plamp over here, as mentioned earlier, and the fight with Rita also seems rather unfair. I wouldn't say that this is a bad game at all, but it's not particularly amazing either. It's fun to play for about 20 minutes or so, but you probably won't want to put too many hours into it. There isn't a lot of music here, but the boss theme is pretty good. Back in the day, Mean Machine Sega gave this a whopping 81%. Personally, I would probably give it maybe around 65%. This game is pretty common and inexpensive nowadays, so if you see it for cheap, then why not pick it up for a bit of fun? This game did sort of get a sequel. A follow-up to the Fist of the North Star game was released in Japan on the Sega Mega Drive, which was a very new console at the time. Again, this license was removed and this game was turned into Last Battle and released at the launch of the Sega's 16-bit powerhouse in the West. We'll take a look at this game next time, however. Thank you very much for watching, and please share, like and subscribe, and smash the crap out of that bell button to get the notifications. Until next time, bye!